Looking as only I can look in my $1,000 suit. The veterans, we got Nick Coit with me, my tag team partner. I agree with you. If you're going to go back to basics, and we have to do it. Red Auerbach, the coach of the Celtics, a longtime coach, Hall of Fame coach, said the only way you can win is get the ball. Without Kevin Garnett, the Celtics give up 100 points a game. With Kevin Garnett in the lineup, they only give up 92 points a game. The best rebounding team when KG's on the floor. That's why Garnett's the most important player. No, it's not Dwight Howard. No, it's not LeBron James. It's whoever has the basketball. Hey. All right, so anyways, for playoff time, Nick, we have to have our sunglasses. Check. Now, it's sunny in Phoenix, so we have to have our sunscreen. So we got our sunscreen checked. So now, Nick, all we have is our postseason tickets.
Oh, yeah?
Do we have any postseason tickets? Oh, no, because the Phoenix Suns missed the playoffs. How can the Phoenix Suns miss the playoffs?
There's one story that transcends them all, and Team Navy has it. It was in August, and I call him the man. Everyone else on planet Earth calls him Michael Phelps. This man captivated the entire world. People who couldn't even spell swimming before August just were glued to the television screen. Michael Phelps was the story. I have his goggles right here. Michael Phelps is definitely the sports story of the year. 8 gold medals. No one can touch that. It transcended the world. Millions, billions of people watch this guy swim. Michael Phelps.
The hat off, Melk, because you probably saw my notes before the show, and because the Chicago Cubs are going to win, because guess what? They have not one, but 2 closers, and Rich Harden's going to be healthy this year. Carlos Sam Brown's going to come off a bad season last year, and he'll be good. There's no closer on the St. Louis Cardinals. Ryan Leatherweeks is a great player. Pujols, like Skills touched on, maybe the best player in the MLB. But because they have no closer and no bullpen, it's the Cubs. But you're going to have to talk about the Cowboys, why they're going to make it. Next 2 weeks, they play San Francisco and Seattle. Everyone in TV land, listen up. Magic number is 9. You get 9 wins, you're in the playoffs. Dallas got 6 right now. They're going to get 2 next week, and they're just going to win 1. The Eagles, Steelers, Giants, and Ravens, they'll get in. That's why they're getting in, because of an easy schedule. Because as we all know, myself and Pete Carroll are big buddies. We talk on the cell phone all the time, and he called me up and he said, Juice, my defense this year is the best I've ever had at Southern Cal. 5 first-round picks. Sorry, it's the Rose Bowl. It's the USC playground. I'm sorry to say that, Big Ten, but you throw in an Ohio State, you can throw in an Iowa, you can throw in anyone you want. No, SC's going to win by 35, rolling because they have the best defense in the entire country, one of the best one-loss teams in the country. The Big Ten. That's more important. Here's the difference between the Mets and the Phillies is that the Phillies don't choke. It's the Mets who choke. And I know everyone knows that I go to Vegas, and when Juice goes to Vegas, he makes lock bets like the Angels winning 100. Last year, I made that bet. The other bet that I made, a little right here, the Marlins are going to win the NL East. Why are they going to win the NL East? It's because of this reason. Hanley Ramirez, Dan Uggla, the best 2 up-the-middle combo. And everyone can call me crazy in the studio and on planet Earth, but guess what? If you said the Rays were going to win the AL East last year, you'd be crazy. The Marlins have great young pitching, and they got Lindstrom shutting the door in the 9th.
Yep. You say the Burner Turner. Well, the Burner Turner will be watching from his couch at home when the Falcons miss the playoffs. The person who's the MVP is Kurt Warner because of this reason. Yes, they play in a bad division. Yes, Kurt Warner is going to throw for 5,000 yards, oh, by the way. But here's the thing. The Cardinals are ranked 32 in rushing offense, 75 yards a game, guys. So guess what? When you play the Cardinals, you go drop back in coverage, and still Kurt Warner still throws the ball well.
Mo Williams, the first 2 letters in his name is M-O. Well, it should be N-O, because how many playoff games has Mo Williams been a part of? Everyone's like, oh, Mo Williams is a second option. When was he in a playoff game? 4 years ago? Yeah, what's Mo Williams? If you're going to
look, guys. All right, wait. Looks like
LeBron James. Pedroia did bat .345 in the second half of the season, and he led the Red Sox to the playoffs. But my wrist is kind of sore because Carlos Quentin should have won this award hands down. September 1st, he broke his wrist, and right there he had 36 home runs, 100 RBIs, 96 runs, batted .288. It was kind of misleading because he did bat .312 the second half of the season. But, the man was insane. He led the White Sox. Pedroia's not even the best player on his own team. How's the MVP? So you're going to take Dwayne Wade off the Heat. That's a 4-5 seed in the Eastern Conference. Except you're going to take the king off the Cleveland Cavaliers, who's the 1 seed. Little bit of a difference. LeBron does everything. He averages 29 a game, 7 assists a game, 7 rebounds a game. How are you going to expect them in the playoffs to come into Staples Center in LA and knock off the Lakers?
I'll tell you why, because they have knocked off.
The Diamondbacks cannot match the Dodgers' offense.
They don't have to.
They can't.
They don't have to.
So now it's pitching. Now it's pitching. It's the Dodgers and the Angels.
This is like a diagram like NBA coaches do. You got the drawing the double teams, make sure you penetrate and all that stuff. But at the end of the day,
Mike Brown's going to say to LeBron James, hey, LeBron James, just do what you do and score. Phil Jackson say, everyone else, get out of the way and let Kobe Bryant take over. But if you're going to talk about games, it's going to come down to coaching as well as Tebow. And the best coach in college football outside Pete Carroll is Urban Meyer. And Bob Stoops, I don't know what happens to Bob Stoops, but he mails it in after the Big 12 championship game. The last 4 big bowls Oklahoma's been in, they've been smoked by West Virginia, a USC team, an inferior Boise State team, beat them, and LSU. Oklahoma does not come up big in games, and if you talk about big games, Sam Bradford hasn't won a big game outside of this home state of Oklahoma ever. So if you're going to talk about big wins and big-time players, it's Tim Tebow, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, does not give the Florida Gators a chance to mess up. The only thing that Bradford has Harrell on is quarterback rating. Everything else, he's got 1 touchdown more. And you'll see Andy Graham throw more touchdowns than Bradford would. Texas Tech wins the game. He walks away with the Heisman in New York City. Last year, Melk, they were 7 games away from the Phillies and 4 games away from the Wildcats.
And that's a loss, right?
You don't think this team's 7 games? Because it's the cherry on top, my man. The cherries.
Oh, wow.
Because of this. It's pitching. Mark Burley in the AL Central, it's all about winning is pitching. Santana led the Twins. When the Indians won, it was CeCe and Fausto. It's about pitching in the Central. No, it's not about hitting. The one team that has it is the Denver Nuggets, and you have to see that. I used to call them the Chicken Nuggets, but coached by George Karl, and they have a good point guard now, a veteran point guard who can lead this team, Chauncey Billups, and he can make the big shots at the end of the game. Oh, wait, Iverson's not there anymore. Exactly. So Clubhouse Cancer's not there. Kenya Martin, Nene, 2 big forwards down low. On the bench, Terry talked about the bench. Nuggets have Chris Anderson coming off the bench, 8 rebounds a game.
Somebody
big bench. Last year, the number 2 seed in the Western Conference was New Orleans Hornets, and the big knock on them last year as they got knocked out by the Spurs was they didn't have postseason experience. Well, guess what, guys? They have postseason experience this year. David West, same numbers. CP3 is one of the top 5 players in the league. Hornets going to get by their first round with the Rockets. So they're going to get to the Lakers in the second round. And they beat the Lakers at Staples Center. Let's just get that in there. Beat the Lakers at Staples Center without buying them. This team is a great team. And guess who's going to guard Kobe Bryant? Oh, mirror image of last year in the finals, James Posey. 50% of teams that win the coin toss and get the ball.
I know.
Oh, wait. They
don't
win.
Oh,
so
thanks,
you're like,
Juice.
oh, if you get the ball, you win. B.J. Upton, Evan Longoria, the 2 best young guns in the league. And Kyle Crawford's going to be healthy this year. He had 25 stolen bases last year. Wasn't even healthy. He'll steal 40 bags. Real quick on Detroit. They couldn't beat Cleveland 2 years ago. They couldn't beat the Celtics this year. So Joe Dumars in the front office said, look, we need to make a change. We're not going to beat LeBron because the Cavs are getting better. The Celtics are better too. So instead of getting knocked out in the semifinals or conference finals, take a chance. I understand the trade was bad, but everyone knew the regular season this team was getting old. In the 90s, if the Bulls were down by 1, who's taking the shot? Everyone knew it was Michael Jordan. Phil Jackson, where's the coaching? In foul trouble is Gasol, because I guarantee you Team Crimson over there can't even tell me who goes on as Gasol gets in foul trouble, who, by the way, averages 3.5 fouls a game. So if you get some foul trouble, red team, who's the center? The Lakers are a great team. Yeah, you got Kobe Bryant. Gasol is weak inside their court. I love the way the Angels play baseball. They play a small ball, then they play big ball, and it doesn't matter if the pitching staff is hurt till May. When those 3 guys come back, they will be the AL champions. The AL West is awful. The Texas Rangers, who are awful. You got the Oakland A's. Matt Holliday, thanks for coming out. Jason Giambi, you're welcome back in Oakland. Too bad you don't even have a pitching staff or any other big offseason acquisition. Seattle, you got nothing. You lost Raul Ibanez. So the Angels are the best of the least, the best of the West. The only thing that the overtime has to do is owners do it all the time. They go in the meetings and say, what are you going to do about overtime? They throw out the stat and they say, okay, I'm not changing it. The only thing you have to change is at the end of 15 minutes to prevent a tie, play another 15 minutes. Nothing to do with that. Just make sure there's a clock and another 15 minutes. Play till someone scores. That's the bottom line.